Greetings. This service is being shared to you from Arybd Documentation Channel. Here I will share only some valuable knowledge that might help you. In below image, the officer who is holding something is Major Jesse Marcel, who is holding a balloon-like cloth. Some viewers think that it is the original craft material, but no, it is not. It's the same act of lie that government do with citizens.
Being familiar with all our activities, that it was not a weather balloon, nor an aircraft, nor a missile. It was something else of which we didn't know what it was. There were just fragments strewn all over the area, an area about 3/4 of a mile long and several hundred feet wide. So we proceeded to pick up the parts. A lot of it had a lot of little members with symbols that, to me, I call them hieroglyphics because I could not interpret them, could not be read. They were just like symbols of something that meant something. These little members could not be broken, could not be burned. I even tried to burn that. It would not burn. See, that stuff weighs nothing. It's not any thicker than tinfoil in a pack of cigarettes. He says, I tried to bend this stuff. He says, it will not bend. He says, we did all we could to bend it. It would not bend. He says, we even tried making a dent in it with a 16-pound sledgehammer. He says, still no dent in it. The newsmen saw very little of that material, a very small portion of it. And none of the important things like these members that had these hieroglyphics or markings on them. They wanted me to tell them about it, and I couldn't say anything. And when the general came in, he told me not to say anything, that he would handle it.
The same symbol that is used in atheist groups. Looks like atheism took birth with this incident, too. The reference to preserver can be also found in Hindu religion and history. All we need to do is study and find what we are looking for. This old Empire base was located a few hundred miles north of the equator on Mars in the Cydonia region. After you have read the Roswell document, you must have come to know that the domain was at war with old Empire civilization, which had many bases in Milky Way galaxy like an Orion Belt, Big Dipper, Mars, Earth, Africa, Egypt, pyramids, etc. Although there are many images of ruins and rubble on Mars, but I will share one image that can be used as evidence. The image below is of the Egyptian pyramid writings. You will see that in it the symbol in Egyptian writings matches the symbol found on Mars planet. If this Egyptian symbol is also found on Mars, means Egyptian culture and this hieroglyph language came from Mars. Below is the image of Mars, with source, NASA. Now this is one of the most important systems to take into notice. The old empire is constantly trying to corrupt teachings of religions by sending his own members as teachers in these religions. I can say now that every religion is corrupted on this earth. In religions where teachings on immortality and existence of souls are taught, where it is talked about experience and consciousness, there, the old empire will send their members who will win the trust of big groups of religions so that they can represent the religion as highest teacher so as to corrupt very easily. In my view, the teachings of Jesus Christ and the teachings given my man-made group called Christianity are different. I wonder if humans even wonder why was Jesus targeted. Must think why Jews were killed by Hitler. It is the corrupted card played by old empire. And in the same way, every other religion is corrupted and is still getting corrupted. Also, the beliefs of religious humans will decline the contradiction at first step only, cause those humans who believe got knowledge barriers, hence making them not open to lies which walk with truth. Such beings become close-minded. Humans think they know much better than other humans. And this is the kind of ego card played by old empire so as to make conflicts or make one ignore the knowledge. For humans to defeat old empire and its practices and power, we humans need to come together. The attempt to teach certain beings on earth the truth that they are themselves as bees was part of a plan to overthrow the fictional, metaphorical, anthropomorphic panoply of gods created by the old empire mystery cult called the Brothers of the Serpent, known in Egypt as the priests of Amun. They were a very ancient secret society within the old empire. The so-called divine rulers who followed Ptah on earth were called Entri, meaning guardians or watchers by the Egyptians. Their symbol was the serpent or dragon, which represented a secret priesthood of the old empire called the Brothers of the Serpent. The serpent is the symbol of the old empire. It appears in the beginning of their creation story, or as the Greeks say, Genesis, and causes the spiritual destruction of the first human beings, who are metaphorically represented by Adam and Eve. The symbol of the old empire, priesthood, is a python, dragon, or serpent. It was called the earth dragon at Delphi, which is always represented in sculpture and vase paintings as a serpent. 604 BCE, Laozi, a philosopher who wrote a small book called The Way, was an Isbi of great wisdom who overcame the effects of the old empire, amnesia/hypnosis machinery, and escaped from Earth. His understanding of the nature of an Isbi must have been very good to accomplish this. Laozi taught his followers the concepts of non-action, wu-wei, and shade and light, yin/yang primordial, dynamic balancing of opposites. The principle of non-action meant that one should discern the natural course of things and cooperate with that movement. Thus, if a person was good at making clothes, he or she shouldn't become a cook. The concept of yin/yang reminded Laozi's students to look for the balancing forces of opposites and learn how to cooperate with and embody them. Repeated Wi-Fi studies show that Wi-Fi causes oxidative stress, sperm/testicular damage, neuropsychiatric effects including EEG changes, apoptosis, cellular DNA damage, endocrine changes, and calcium overload. Now, you must have heard about Nikola Tesla and the Roswell document. The math he used was not the math that is taught to us, but it was the math that they don't want us to play with, that is. One final note. People believe that VBM or vortex-based mathematics, their magical diagram is a divine code. But whether or not you believe Galileo's statement, mathematics is the language with which God has written the universe, there is no denying that base 10 is an entirely human construction. Arybd mentioned that the most significant breakthrough was made by Gautama Siddhartha about 2,500 years ago. However, the original teachings and techniques taught by the Buddha have been altered or lost over the millennia since then. The practical techniques of his philosophy were perverted into robotic religious rituals by priests as a self-serving instrument of control or slavery. I wonder why he left everything and went to forest to live. Wonder why he mediated for 6 years in forest and then came back to teach. Wonder why he meditated for 39 days before leaving the body. Wonder why his techniques are not taught in human books. Wonder the influence of international Western culture on these ancient teachings and practices. To my results, old empire has corrupted everything on this planet, every religion and its every practice. I myself have seen people doing false practices taught by old empire under the name of religious meditation. For example, in Buddhism, in China and India, both systems are now corrupted. This must have been taught by old empire member by taking position as a high leader of a religious group. There are two kinds of Buddhism in my view. One which aims on storing energy for mind and consciousness, deep, slow, nostril mind breathing. This includes lotus, leaving behind every attraction and corruption, so as to make a good energy defensive shell. Whereas other one aims on releasing energy for body and its magnificent abilities, shallow, fast nostril body breathing. This includes fire, and this can be seen in many systems like Kung Fu. Similarly, such a religious deception is followed in Sikhism religion too. Original teachings and practices have been altered. Guru Nanak disappeared in Kalibane River, Sultanpur Loji Ber Sahib, for 3 days, till the Guru Dwara Sri Hat Sahib, where 13 stones are displayed, which Guru Nanak Ji used to wash 3 times every day 13, x3 equals 39 equals 12 equals 1 plus 2 equals 3. This is vortex mathematics. Now these things are not taught as why he used to do that. These things are not even mentioned. The truth that Guru Nanak used to meditate a lot and was devoted to breathing has been falsely misunderstood and deceived as devotion to chanting name of God. The word meditation today is now meant with chanting words or name of God, which God listens, which is not true. It's breathing and improving our minds so as to overcome old empire's amnesia, so you can see how roots get corrupted and how branches gets divided to different paths. I am finishing this right here.